Welcome. My name is Ayo and I am your host. And as always, we are the English masters won't stop saying thank you to all of you, our dear subscribers. Straight to today's work. In our phonology class today, we are looking at the monothong sound. Okay. Now, this sound is a short sound, and it's produced as a mid-front vowel. Okay, a mid-front vowel. That's the way this sound is generated. Okay, and then of course, when you see this sound, you always want to think of the letter E, okay, to look when you're looking out for that sound. You want to always think of the letter E. Although this is a phonemic symbol, but the letter alphabet E, okay, is of course one letter that shows realization for this sound. However, if you see letter E in a word, you don't want to conclude that the sound it produces is the short air sound. No, you don't want to do that. Okay, so but as we continue on this course, you will find that E also shows realization for other sounds. So quickly, let's see some realizations of this sound. Okay, some realizations we have are okay. Number one, at E. Now, at letter E, that is when you see E in a word, okay, let's see some examples of words where these what's it called? The air sound appears at letter E. We say, for example, pen, rent, reckon. Okay, let's say, okay, element. Okay, then we have here this first E here. Okay, and then we have let's say what other words, several words. Okay, let's say check, yes, and others. Okay, this and other words where you have letter E show realization for the short air sound. Okay, that does not mean, as I said, that E in other words would not give another sound entirely, right? Of course. All right, now let's see. Another realization is at A. Okay, okay. Then would you think that the short air sound will show at letter A? Of course, you remember that while discussing the R sound, both short and long R sound, we mentioned A as a letter that shows realization for these sounds, right? But today again, we're seeing letter A showing realization for the short air sound. How come? Well, there are just few words where letter A shows realization for the air sound. Let's have a list of these few words. In case you find another, it's fine, you can include it. We have an example such as any, many. Okay, A here, and in this word, okay, says, in that word says, of course it's AY anyway, so the AY, okay, take stands for the air sound. Okay, so you have any, many, and says. So these are the three words we have seen. I think there should be one or two other, but they are not much. Okay, then we have at number 3, we have at EA. Okay, now the air sound also appears at EA. Sure, EA also shows realization for another sound. In fact, it is not a dominant realization for this sound, air sound. Okay, its dominance is seen in another, or is found in another sound entirely, which we will discuss in the course of this program. Okay, now let's see EA. What are some of the words? Of course, you can think of many of them. You can think of measure, right? Pleasure, right? Or you think of let's say peasant, okay, pleasant, okay, weapon, right? EA in these words, okay, showing realization for the short air sound. You can see, right? Fine. Okay. So take note of this. Okay, EA in these words. There are other words like head, right? Health, REM. Okay? All of these words, EA in them, showing realization for the short air sound. Please take note of that. And fourth realization we would look at, which is not very, does not have much words as well, is at EO. Well, if we had not gotten up to 2 words here at EO, showing realization for the short air sound, it would have just, maybe we got just a word, we have just included it in others. That is, it's not really something to think of, but at least we had 2 words, okay, where we had EO showing realization for the short air sound. What are some of those words, or what are these words rather? They are jeopardy, and leopard. Okay. Jeopardy, and leopard, jeopardy, leopard. Now these are the words, okay? Now, of course, that does not mean that every EO you see in the word will give you this sound, okay? For example, in the word leotard, is not, EO there is not giving us the air sound. So you want to be very careful when approaching this, and you want to take note of that. Okay, so these are the 4 realizations, right? Okay, we have for these short air sound. Okay, well, that does not mean that we don't have 1 or 2 other words that show that have a different letter in them where we have these short air sound. Of course we do. We can think of let's say word like said, SAID. AI there is giving us the short air sound. Another word is leisure, LEI. Okay, there we have the air sound as well at EI. So these are just rare words. Okay, it does not mean that because we could not find 1 or 2 more than 1 word. Okay, so we just leave them as others. Okay, but you take note of this, and that's it for the sound today. Quickly, let's see the word of the week. What's the word of the week? We have how would you pronounce that word? How would you pronounce the word on the bird? Okay? Okay? What's the meaning of the word? Well, that word is pronounced venerate. 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 And it is used to mean to hold with deep respect, or to to treat with deep respect, or to hold in awe. Okay, in awe. Okay, that's the meaning of the word. Now, how can we use it as an example, that is in a sentence? Of course, that word is a verb. Okay, so let's say apparently, comma, they venerate their God. It means they show reverential respect to their God. Okay, so that's the word of the week. Venerate. Venerate. That's the word. Thank you very much for being there. And just in case you have not subscribed, please do so and share, like our videos. Thank you very much. That'll be all for the week. See you again next week. Thank you.